And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at a game called Storytailors, which is a good name for a game. To tailor a story. It's a game geared for children in which you are telling a story and picking and voting on the characters who are going to show up in that story. What am I talking about? Let's take a look. Beginning of the game, you're going to pick a story, and there are multiple different stories included with the game. They're double-sided, and you can see by the background color what the story is. So here we have the bravest knight, and you'll notice the pages of the book don't have anything to do with the story. They just show kids who are thinking about the story. So you're going to draw from a deck of character cards, which incidentally is all animals, and you're going to place one here. So here's the bravest knight, this cow. Once upon a time, when castles were inhabited by knights and kings and not tour guides, in a faraway castle there lived a valiant knight. He feared no one in the whole wide world and was eager for the great deeds in the name of good. You'll turn the page. You'll put in the next story card over here. And I'm just putting it on top to show you right now, but you would stick it in the thing. All his successes he dedicated to a fair lady, whom he hoped to win over. The lady lived in a tower of the neighboring castle. Day after day, she sat by the window, studied science and other disciplines, and waited for more news of deeds in her honor. She rarely left the castle because of the many dangers beyond its walls. So each person's going to have a handful of these character cards. So everyone's going to play them, and simultaneously, they're going to reveal them and place them underneath the board. So you're going to have up to 6 players play. So let's say these are the characters. Now, which of these is the fair lady? Which one would it be? The clownfish, the hummingbird, who knows? But each player has their own set of voting tokens, and you're going to vote for the one that you think. And each player is going to get points for whoever voted for them, and the one that gets the most votes, and the person who's behind in points will pick the winner or youngest player. And then that's that card that would go in there. And then you'll turn the pages to the next one here. And you'll find the next part of the story. And you'll keep going. And when the story comes to its conclusion, whoever has the most points is the winner. You can also play with a cooperative mode where you're just all working together to make a story. Component-wise, I like the voting chips. Different colors, but they also have different symbols, so you just match the symbol here on the scoring board. The book itself is fine. I have a little bit, I like the book and how each one you're going to see the different animals at the top. So this is a nice thing here. So you'll see the animals as they stick out here. So you can see the fish, you can see the cow, if the butterfly was there. So this keeps track, and on the back it tells you what that person was. That's the valiant knight, the cow. So that's really well done. It's a nice book, although it's kind of a pain to see that the art doesn't match the story itself, and for little kids that's problematic. The writing itself is okay. Some of them are weird. In the one I did, the main character was an avid reader. Or an avid reader. Who kids don't even know. That's just not a terminology you would use in a kid's book. The biggest problem I have with the game, though, are these. Now, these are cool. They're really nice pictures of animals. But they're not anthropomorphic at all. And so if I'm picking the fairest lady who is in love with the knight, that doesn't really work here. You don't get any sense of the story. And I know it's impossible to pick a card that will fit multiple stories. But because of the way it is, you have to use your imagination to a point that you're just kind of, it didn't work in that regard for me. And honestly, that's going to obviously bleed through to my opinion on the game itself. But I like this artwork, but it doesn't match this game. Storytailors is a cool concept, and I'm going to piggyback right on what I was just talking about, and that's the fact that I think the deck of things that they have you pick from is it just doesn't work. They're just a pile of animals. I think maybe a deck of objects might have worked better, and then you use that. The knight is searching for a treasure, and I'm like, I play a sword, and the next person plays a bar of gold, and the next person plays a television set. Oh, and that's funny. Maybe we vote for that because it's funny. But the idea of, a whale as a knight doesn't work that well, at least more than once. And they have to pick these animal characters, which, again, they have no emotions on them other than the way an animal looks. And so you have to take that animal, humanize it to stick it in a human story. Like I have kids' books where there's animals that do all kinds of stuff, sail ships and fight with swords and flying rocket ships, but they don't look like an actual animal doing it. They look like an animal that looks like a human with an animal head to some degree. And I think that jump here kind of almost just flat out takes the game away. Not only that, there's the voting aspect. And you play a card, it's very possible for a kid to play this game and never have any of their things voted on. And that's just not fun for them. And so the book itself also, it shows people thinking about the story. This game is kind of like a whole, hey, it's all happening in your imagination. So why not just buy some books that do that? Why not read a book to kids? This game is almost unnecessary. I get what they're trying to do here. There's some cool concepts theoretically, but with the selection of animal cards and the stories not being that interesting, frankly, it just doesn't come together. I'd rather just read some books with my kids or do a choose your own adventure style thing. I played this with my very youngest, which I know that's where it's geared for, and it didn't go over that well. So I have high hopes. Maybe the next one will be good, but this one was a pass for me. That's Storytailors. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment, a nice idea, but didn't work for me.